Hello everyone, this is day 2 ASP.NET MVC learning for beginners. Actually, I was supposed to come 2nd September, so due to some reason I did not come here to live, but today I'm just starting the second day of ASP.NET MVC, which is actually the legacy of last video. That means you already covered a one video. On this last video I already covered Razor Visual Studio, using Visual Studio SQL Server, how you can start with your MVC project and how you can run your project, how you can insert the basic things using a Razor. Alright, so in this video actually I will show you how you can start with your like a JavaScript jQuery kind of things. So from last video, you know already we have created a project, right? And I run the project currently, the same project I already run here. So this is the first project that already created in last video, and we have created some data in last video, right? Using this project we have entered some data. So if I go to the customer controller, so if you don't know about what is customer controller here, so if you know about MVC model view controller, I already discussed yesterday's, but even if I want to just shortly describe what is MVC model view controller, right? So in model we have already added model in last video, and this is controller. We already shown you a controller in last video. All right, so this is a controller, customer controller, already I shown. And model view controller, so here is the view. For every controller we have a folder, and for every method or function we have a view, which is view type, right? So that is from the overview of last video. So if I go to the today's topic, right? So today I will discuss about more JavaScript jQuery, how you can start with your jQuery in your project, right? So when you actually installed your project, all right, or you created this MVC project, automatically by default your JavaScript has been added in your project, right? See here, Bootstrap.js, JavaScript.js already installed using your, I mean, when you try to create this project, right? And this reference also already referred in your main file, I mean bundle.config file. See here, jQuery and bootstrap file also referring. That's why actually in if you see our browser, so I'm showing now browser. So that's why actually in this browser we can see the very nice view, right? So here the customer controller, so customer controller mean this controller. So if I go to the Visual Studio again instead of Chrome, right? So here, see here there is a controller, customer controller. So actually this customer controller is that you actually shown in the that you seen in the browser, right? So I'm just showing you to browser, right? So in the browser what you can see the data. I mean, yesterday we actually inserted some data using this UIs, right? Create, and we edited something and deleted something. But now today we will do the same thing using jQuery. So what I said actually in Visual Studio, so I'm again showing you the Visual Studio. So in Visual Studio what you can see, right? See, Visual Studio actually our script JavaScript already installed, so that's why we don't have to think about more this, right? So now I will work in the same view, index view, under the customer controller. So I will work on this. You can even create a new view for working this, but I will use the same view, right? So here if I go to the view, so this is the complete view that we can see now currently, but I will create another separate thing here, like if I named it div, right, div, so for like I will giving you a input box called, like here we have an input box, right, the name called name. So name will be this name, or we can even this name, we can put a name, right, underscore name. So we can put a placeholder called name. So this is completely manual work that we are doing now for JavaScript, right? So previously this was generating automatically, and this is we call Razor, what we actually told in the last video. So okay, just let's give me some time. I'm just making my view smaller. So here the name div, right, so placeholder name. See, if I run and if I show it the view, if I run the project, see here, this is actually the name, the text box showing. So like this name and address I will name like this something. So here if you see, we already have Bootstrap installed and this text box is looking so nice, but in our case it's not looking nice. See here, this is very basic, so that's why we have to work in the Visual Studio. So if I go back to Visual Studio again, so I'm just writing something here, class form control. So if I now again back to the browser, and if I reload the page, see here now text box is looking so nice like the previous one, right? So now we will make another text box for this. So here, instead of showing you enter, I'm just changing my view here because always I have to drag and drop in the Visual Studio versus Google Chrome. So I'm just making another view where I can see everything in from one single view, right? So here I think now you can see my everything, right? So here actually this is my view, this is Visual Studio that I'm trying to show you. So here I will create another text box called import, name will be address, right, and placeholder will be address, right? So here also I will write a class form control. This form control mean sorry this form control mean this is a class name, and inside this class there is a lot of CSS written, where actually for we are getting very nice view of input box, right? See, this is name and text address, right? So if I just give a break, see here space will be open, right? So name address, so what was in the, yeah, this one, yeah, name and address, and then a button, right? So I will give a button here, button name will be like submit, and so instead of this I'm giving action link, and class will be button default, right? So by using a tag we can write a class name with btn default or any other class name like btn success, then button will be created here, right? So if I reload the page again, see here button is coming. All right, so just break, another break. See here, this is showing like this, right? Just I did not give any level, so I intentionally did not giving any level because I already given a placeholder here, right? So after clicking on this button we want to save the data, right? After clicking on the button, right? So we will do this work using JavaScript, I mean jQuery, right? So for this we have to write a script like this, right? This script mean I will write JavaScript inside of this, I mean inside of the tag, right? In script tag. So now I will write a function name, you know already if you know about the basic programming. So function save customer, right? This is a function name. So we given a function name called save customer. All right, so here when I will click, like not here actually, when I will click in this submit button, the name and address will be saved, but the data from this view actually sent through JavaScript, I mean jQuery, right? So for this we have to write the script. So here, so if I just write the JavaScript function name, so save customer name, this is a function name, so I will write some code to post data in my controller. All right, so here I already write the code in my notepad. So here see, this is a post method, this is a JavaScript method which actually we can use to post data inside any controller. All right, so here this is a customer and edit. So I will create a method here to save jQuery data and giving a return response, right? So after this I will write a method called public action result save cus. I will just name this as save customer. So here two parameter will come, right? One will be string name, another will be string address, right? And what we will do actually, we will save this customer name and address in our database like this way, right? Just we will pass data through jQuery, right? So what we need to do actually, we have to just copy this code here, like this code is only for saving data using entity framework from the controller, right? So here actually previously it was customer, but now I will actually mention that TV, sorry, not this, I will alright, so here I will write the name equal to the name coming through parameter address will be equal to address, right? So that means one construct, I mean one object we are creating to push in the customers table, right? Like this way. So the parameter that I'm getting, I'm just sending this parameter to save data, right? So after this we have to return, right? So for we are getting using JavaScript this data, right? So in that case we will return, after saving we will return some response, right? So like for this, like after saving we will pass uh, true false or success yes no, right? So if okay, I will write try catch, huh? So after writing try, if I click on double tap, then it will be right. So I will keep it here. Okay, first I'm not doing very critical of this code. I'm just simply writing this code, and if it is success, so I'm just passing like a message called success, right? Okay, JSON result behavior allow get, right? So that means in every time this success message will be returned there. All right, so data will come through name and address. So here my work is like, this is a customer controller, so I will copy this customer name, which method it is, I mean which view, this view. So this will be customer, and in the action this will be safe cus, I mean short form of customer name. So here will be the method name, and this is the controller name, this is the method name. Here parameter, I will send the parameter name and string, right? So here name parameter will be sent. So to as the name which we want to push, we want to push this input box value, right? So for this I have to copy. All right, that means we are picking the value of underscore name text box, right? So here second one is address. So address will be like this. So here address will be this one. So name and address just posting to the customer save customer method, right? Customer controller save customer method, and return data here will show. So I will write here like alert. So after returning message will show, right? So if I just run the project, so project run will take some time. All right, so if I just review again the code, like this is a JavaScript function. So in the, this is the name of a function, right? Save customer, and here is the post method which actually post our data to controller using jQuery. All right, so here is post method, and this is controller name, and this is action name. here the parameter, how many parameter you want to pass, and this is actually the value, I mean, of this input box, and this is the value of this input box. Then here the data is returning, I mean, this success message will return in this variable or whatever the parameter you said, right? And it will show as alert here. Okay, so the project has run. So if I just check in the inspect, so always you just learn like inspect is very important part to debug your JavaScript, right? So like here I will see my JavaScript code is reflecting properly or not. Okay, so here if I see, so this is our method, right? So if I just debug here, if I run a debug here, and I will make a debug here also in the save customer method inside the controller. So if I click like this, if I click, it's not working because after click on submit button, what will happen? We did not mention it, right? So here in the button we have to mention this. We have to mention this on click. This is a event, right? So on click, I mean, if we click on the on this button, what it will do, it will call this method. All right, so it will call this method. So if I again see here, now on click is reflecting here. So if I write something, all right, if I click here, see this debug is just coming here, right? So if I just click on the here, so see also here it's picking, right? So if I check name, what is coming through name, there is nothing, also, right? If I go, see here, this is null actually, right? So this null value will be safe and it will show us a alert, but still our value did not pass through this JavaScript method, right? So why it is not passed? The name, the address. All right, so if I just debug this name underscore name, so actually because this is a name, we used hashmin. It should be a I mean ID, right? Using hash we are determining it should be a ID, so this should be a ID actually. So it should be a ID, all right, because by this hash we are mentioning as ID. If I again reload page and check in the inspect, see this is ID, all right. So now if I click y, all right, so if I check now value is coming or not, yes, now value is coming, and here see value is coming. So if I just see how it's saving, see data might be saying, see this alert message is showing after saving. So if I reload this page, see here YY is coming. I save data through JavaScript and here data is coming. So now data save has done. Now I have to show this data through, I mean, currently it's showing using the razor, right? Here razor view is coming. But now my target is I will show this data using jQuery. Alright, so I will make a table here table, and here eh name, address. All right, so now here actually data will be shown in the, if I reload the page, so here name and address is showing. So we can use a class called table, because if we use this class, this table view will be changed for bootstrap, right? So I'm using this. See here, name and address. So now our target is to just, this is here header, and this is the detail. So here I have to put at least 2 columns, right? Like name is, first one is this, and address one is this. Just see here, this is to value strings, but it will become here as a dynamic value, right? So for this we will actually show this data using jQuery. For this I already copied a code here, so we have to write another function, right? So function get customer. All right, so the function I already write, I will just copy and paste here. So here this get method is only for getting data, right? So for this, do we have any list type function? No. So I will write a get method called public action result get all. All right, so writing get all. So to getting all the data, return sorry, JSON, because I will show data using JavaScript, right? For this data should be returned as JSON format, right? So in that case, like var data db dot customers dot to list, right? So this is a list where all the customer is coming, so I'm just returning this data as a JSON. All right, JSON request behavior allowed. All right, so I'm returning this data. All right, so now like this we will just use this URL, but instead of this method I will use get all here. So we don't have any parameter, just I'm deleting parameter. This is the response. So first I will check the response, which is coming. So I will check first the response is true. Console log. So this method will load when our page will be loaded, right? So this is actually the onload request, right? So I will search jQuery yeah, so I will search jQuery onload, which is actually by loading the document, this inside what we can just whatever we can show during the loading of the page, right? So for this I will keep this and I will call this method here. So this method called mean during this index page readiness or loading first time, this get customer will load. That's why we are giving this get customer method inside the document ready. All right, so I'm I'm just loading the page. It will take some time. So now if I just review the code, like this is a function, this function I write for getting all the customer record which is exist in our database. So and here we are just mentioning this is a get method. All right, so in previous one was post when we save data. So this is a get customer get all. So customer mean this inside the customer controller we have a get all method. This is method, and here see data is returning to top. I mean a data is returning as a JSON data to the JavaScript, right? So we are actually receiving this data through this response. So if I move to the page and reload the page, see here. So now if I want to see actually what is coming here, so I will see the log console. See here 4 arrays coming, right? Because I actually for my checking I write console log, right? So that's why we are getting this customer 4 array means see here first one is Mr. XYZ. This is actually exist in our database, and second one is this, third one is actually the null value, and this, right? So now that means data is coming. So if I make a debug here, if I click here, see how pages, I mean how data is loading. If I click, see this is calling and data is loading here. So I will now our task is to show this data to our, I mean in the table. How we can show this data in table? So now what we can do, if you see here, actually previously it was content.html. So this content.html mean if we write like td plus the response dot name, all right, so plus td, all right. Now another same thing I will write here, address. So this is one td ending and this is another td ending, right? This will place to st as a html. So inside where, inside the tier. So if I write a id called my tr, just I'm giving a name called my tier. So here So my tier.html, so inside the my tier it will show this data. All right, so I'm just deleting this and I'm just keeping it blank. If I reload the page, so here I have a debug, so I will removing debug. So here data is not showing properly. So if I check why this data is not showing properly, so we can debug. So this is the beauty of JavaScript to jQuery. We can debug. So see here, if I reload the page, see this is data. I mean 4 response is coming through here. All right. So in that case, actually this is a list of data, right? Here this is a list of data, so that means this should be a for loop or for each loop, right? So for this we have to write for loop. So for loop will be on response dot length, right? So this will be something like this. So for this str, first str will be like this one, like response dot I mean I position response is the array. So from response I position, I mean first position, the name will be here, the first position address will be here. All right, right? And second time when it will come again, we will write like this way, str plus. So str plus mean first time str is blank or empty, so str will be str plus this data. That means first time it will become first data, first name, first address, then it will be again come here, first item will be loaded, and then second time it will be second data, right? So if I check now actually what happening, if I just push it to here as HTML, see what's happening right now. See, that is coming, but it's not showing properly because of why? Because of, I think there's some inconsistency I'm doing, right? Like here what happening, if I want to see in JavaScript, this is a very big learning for you, how actually JavaScript or jQuery we debug, right? This is a real-time experience that you are getting right now. So I'm doing mistake and how we are actually get writing from the mistake, you know? So if I reload the page again, see here first time the value is coming str, and then it's setting, see here first time first value is setting td mr this way, right? So mr xyz home xyz, right? So in second time what happening, see second data is coming, and see here first data is this, no, first one is this, and second one is this, and third one is this, right? So for every row this should be 2 column, but here if you see all the column is coming into a single row. So that's the root cause analysis, how you can analyze the root cause in your project, right? Like one problem is happening in your table, how you can understand actually what is happening. So here what I understand, right? So actually here all the data is coming inside a single row, so in that case we have to mention the every row dynamically, right? So that means this row also should be dynamic. All right, so in that case I have to write this t body. So here I will make id my t body, right? And this tier, so this tier also will be dynamic, right? So that means here actually this will be a tier, and here another tier will be end. All right, that means this tier will be dynamic, right? And here I will write, and this is a t body. The t body mean table body, right? So now if I run the project again, see, now it's correct, right? Like this way it's showing here, but here actually the ordering is not correct, so it's last one is coming first. So you can make ordering in your side, like here we can make ordering here. Where is my this yeah, here I can write the order dot order by desc. So that's all about the JavaScript jQuery basic things. So actually this is a tremendous things that you actually learn from here, how you can start with JavaScript jQuery. Here is the thing that you can start your JavaScript jQuery using this video. So this is actually a big thing you are going to start learn. So in next video I will show you how you can edit, how you can delete data using jQuery and JavaScript and without even loading the page, right? So thank you, bye bye.